Episode 1 of House of Guinness starts in 1868 after the death of Sir Benjamin Lee Guinness, an Irish brewer and the first Lord Mayor of Dublin. He's also the owner of one of the largest breweries in the world. As Sean Rafferty, the brewery's foreman, is preparing for the funeral of Sir Benjamin. He asks the workers to ensure that the funeral is not interrupted in respect to their former boss. However, Irish Catholics protest outside the brewery, led by Patrick Cochrane. The Catholics condemn the late Protestant brewer and want to hamper the funeral from taking place smoothly. When the gates open, the guards start attacking the protesters while Sir Benjamin is taken to be laid to rest. Now while this is happening, Sir Benjamin's 4 children are at the Guinness family home, Evea House. Now Arthur is the eldest and he argues with his siblings Edward and Anne about how the people mourning their father's death are pretending. They wake their youngest brother Benjamin Jr. as they're asked to reach the church for their father's funeral. Now Edward claims that the 4 of them need to be cordial for the funeral, and the 4 children watch as the people of Dublin protest. They worry that they may never be able to succeed their father if they keep fighting. Now Anne forces her brothers to gather together in prayer and urges the boys to calm down. Now Patrick and the protesters inevitably clash with Sean, who attacks the protesters to ensure that Sir Benjamin's body is taken to the church safely. During the funeral service, the priest sings the praises of Sir Benjamin in an effort to unite the Protestants and the Catholics. Meanwhile, Patrick meets his sister Ellen and tells her how he's going to counter Sean's attack by burning down the beer barrels inside the storage unit of the Guinness brewery. Now Ellen warns Patrick in turn, telling him that the plan is risky and that he's painting a direct target on himself. She believes in an alternate way to attack the Guinness business though, and that comes from exposing the secrets of the 4 Guinness children. Now Ellen reveals that she's working with the Evea House servants, and Patrick doubts Ellen's plan but is keen to know the secrets of the Guinness children. They're singing and dancing at Evea House for Sir Benjamin's funeral ceremony. Now Arthur and Edward greet the guests who offer their condolences, while Anne meets Sean in private and the two talk about how they hooked up 3 days ago despite her being a married woman. As she tells Sean that she has apologised to God for what she's done and asks him to stay away from her. Sean calls Anne out for being a hypocrite and claims that she's a wildcat waiting to be unleashed. Meanwhile, Benjamin Jr. is drinking in Sir Benjamin's room, where he meets Lady Christine O'Madden. Christine hands him a gun without any bullets inside, worried that Benjamin is trying to kill himself. Now Benjamin Jr. tells Christine that he wanted the gun for self-defense against a man named Bonnie Champion. Apparently, Benjamin Jr. owes him £170. Christine asks him to marry her to pay off his debt and urges him to stop drinking. Benjamin Jr. refuses though, believing he's not the right man for her. Sir Benjamin's brother, Reverend Henry, meets Arthur and Edward to talk about the hearing of their late father's will the following day. Now Arthur tells Edward that he doesn't want any part in the family business, while Edward wants to run the business. But as Arthur is the oldest, the brewery will be handed over to him in full. The 2 brothers strike a deal that enables Arthur to continue his life in London, while Edward runs the business alone. Edward agrees to give Arthur 35% of the brewery's profits without any contribution, and tells the brothers that she too is capable of running the business and hopes that her father has seen her grit and determination before dividing his wealth. Well, later that night, Ellen visits the Guinness warehouse looking for Bonnie Champion. She tricks the guards into entering the warehouse, and there she meets Bonnie and asks him about the Guinness family secrets. She offers him freedom from all taxes in exchange for his help. Now Bonnie tells Ellen that Benjamin Jr. is a gambler and in debt. He also warns Ellen that Sean is very protective of the Guinness family, and Ellen asks him about Arthur's secrets. At the same time, Patrick and his men sneak inside the brewery and set fire to the barrels. There's chaos with Sean, Bonnie and the workers trying to stop the fire, while Sean tries to find the person who opened the gates to the brewery as the fire intensifies. He asks the workers to push the remaining barrels into the river to keep them from burning down. At Evea House, Edward tells Arthur about all his plans for the expansion of the brewing business. Arthur tries to express his fears to his siblings but fails to do so. The episode then ends with Sean seeing Ellen flee out of the brewery as heavy rain pours down from the sky, extinguishing the fire. So House of Guinness gets off to an interesting start, and there's certainly a lot to enjoy here. While the crux of the show is inspired by true events, it's clear that the makers have taken some creative liberty with the character arcs of a few people. The premise of the show is Ireland in the 1800s, but it's interesting to see how the makers are contextualising the value of currency from then to the present day for us to understand just how affluent Guinness family was. Now the first episode sets up the characters pretty well, and we see how Arthur is the oldest brother and doesn't really care about the family business. Interestingly though, there's tension between him and Edward, who, despite being the second son, is the rightful heir to Sir Benjamin, given his dedication to the brewing business. We also have Anne, the daughter who feels left out of her own family after marrying someone her father set her to marry. Now Benjamin Jr. looks mysterious and unpredictable, and I wonder if he will be put in charge of his father's business in the end, forcing him to get over his alcohol and gambling addiction. Either way, this is a solid start to what should be a promising historical drama. Thanks for watching, and do let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Smash a like or subscribe to the channel, your support is very much appreciated. I'm Greg Wheeler, and from all of us over here at The Review Geek, we'll see you on the next video.